Hey guys, it's Grayson here from the Gadgetron blog on the Tuscaloosa as well as the Gadgetron column that runs on Mondays in that paper. Today we're going to take a quick look at the BlackBerry Torch. It's RIM's newest BlackBerry smartphone, and it's one they're kind of betting the farm on here as they've seen their market lead on the smartphone market dwindle heavily to iPhone and the Android phones out there, and RIM is desperately clinging to that lead right now because iPhone and those copious amounts of Android phones on all carriers and by several manufacturers are certainly making a big dent in the market, and they are both fighting to replace BlackBerry at the top of the pile. So is this the phone that is going to cement BlackBerry's dominance? In short, no. Emphatic no. It does not compete, in my opinion, in any way, shape, or form with the similar offerings from the Android phones and iPhone. It is just, in terms of hardware, software, just everything, it is leagues behind all of these phones. And the sad thing is that RIM has had plenty of time to get their crap together and put together a nice package. And all we've gotten so far is the two Storm phones and now the Torch. And so let's get started on what makes the Torch unique. Obviously, it's a slider BlackBerry that's never been done before. It's kind of pre-like, but with a much better keyboard. This is the keyboard that you'll see on the BlackBerry Bold phones. Pretty similar anyway. And it is fantastic. Great keyboard. Even if you've never used a BlackBerry before, your thumbs will feel right at home typing away on this. So that slides down. You've got a 3.2-inch touchscreen with a very, very, very low screen resolution of 480 by 360. I mean, it's kind of pathetic when you compare it to the iPhone, which has that awesome Retina display and a screen resolution of 960 by 640. I mean, the pixels are so dense you can't even see them. And especially when you think about the Samsung Galaxy S phones with that Super AMOLED screen that run Android, this screen does not compare. It's bigger than most BlackBerry screens, and that's nice, but when we're talking about 4.3-inch screens on Android phones and a 3.5-inch screen on the iPhone, it's really hard for the screen to compare. It just doesn't, in short. So that's a negative. Also, this phone only runs a 625 megahertz processor. That would have been fine a year ago. But now you've got talk of 2 gigahertz processors coming out in a Motorola Android phone rumored for the end of this year or early next year. And most phones that are releasing at this point in time are running a full gigahertz in speed on their processor. The iPhone 4's got it, the Evo 4G's got it, the Droid Incredible's got it, the Droid 2's got it. I mean, you could just go on and on and on of all these new phones. I mean, and the big thing here is price. Those phones that have those 1 gigahertz processors, premium screens, HD camera, again, this is a 5 megapixel sensor, does not take HD video, takes very low resolution video. Pictures are okay, but still, they do. In terms of hardware, it does not compete. These phones that are taking HD video have nice screens, have 1 gig. They're all asking $199, which is the exact same price RIM is asking for this phone. So hardware would have been nice a year ago, very solid, very well built, but lacking in terms of power. Now let's dive into this OS. This OS was kind of a big deal. It is a brand new OS, OS 6, BlackBerry OS 6, and it was made especially for the Torch, and it is a hybrid OS in the sense that you can control it with the BlackBerry optical trackpad or trackball here. So that means they'll be able to load OS 6 up on non-touch devices. With this touchscreen here, with this 3.2-inch touchscreen, you can also control it with the swipe of your finger and with touch. So that makes the optical trackpad a little obsolete in the sense that it's kind of wonky, though RIM does throw it in and require it on some instances, like when you need to move an app. So we'll go ahead and hit move here, and as you see, I can't move it with my thumb. See, that completely canceled it, and there's that lag from that puny little processor that's running this thing. You cannot move things with your finger like you would in those other OSs where you just drag and everything. If I swipe, that cancels the operation and really sets in some lag there. So what you have to do, you long press, hit move it around with that optical trackpad, which is terrible. So again, okay, so here let's go dive into the OS. you've got this app drawer, and what you can kind of think of it as is a hybrid between home screens. See, you have none here. You have this screen, which is technically a home screen, but you cannot swipe through, place apps on it. Nothing happens when I'm long pressing it here. What you have to do is you have this app drawer here, and it's got 5 subcategories. You got frequent, all, favorites, media, downloads. Okay, so you can leave this open to 1. Kind of looks a little bit like a dock there. You can close it completely. You can leave it at 2. Get it here, or you can leave it all the way open, and then you can scroll up and down to get through the other apps, and then you scroll sideways to get to the other subcategories. So that's how you select your apps. It's just not nearly as refined a way as the Android OS, iPhone OS, or Web OS, which is different like this. It's different. It's not the home, swiping through home screens things, but this just does not compare with those 3 at all. It does not. It seems counterintuitive. It's very locked to this home screen, which offers very little customization. No widgets like on the Android OS. I mean, you had iPhone, which brought in the home screen idea. Android improved upon that with widgets. And this does neither of those. It doesn't improve upon it. It doesn't offer. It really offers an improved solution over the old BlackBerry OSs, but it still doesn't compete with the with the competition out there. This is another irk of mine, is the way notifications are handled. You got this notification bar here. You tap it, you see your notifications, right? Okay. When you're inside of another app, you got to go all the way back to the home screen, or hope that the app that's notifying you of an update can be accessed from a long press here. Here's your recent applications. The Torch does do multitasking, so there is that. But if your app that has been updated is not in your recent apps, you got to go all the way back to the home screen, touch this, touch the app, blah blah blah. Just not nearly where inside an Android app you can just pull down the screen, go directly to the app that's been updated, or on an iPhone device you access it via that pop-up whenever that happens. So it's just, again, lags behind the competition in terms of a feature set. So all in all, this is just not the phone that's going to save BlackBerry, and it really seems like, the RIM CEO has touted this as a quantum leap beyond all the other competition, and it's not. It's not a leap above. It's not even on par. It's far behind. And this phone would have been great last year. Great phone for last year. And but right now, when there are 1 gigahertz processors flying around, and then talk of even powerful phones by the end of the year, this phone does not cut it. Not when for the same price you can get an iPhone 4 or the Samsung Captivate on the same carrier. It does not cut it. I mean, for BlackBerry users, you guys may feel right at home here, and if you have to have a BlackBerry, this is the one I would get. It is the best BlackBerry to date by far. Still got that great keyboard. You've got an improved OS. But in terms of really, like, do I need to stay with BlackBerry? Do I need to go with another device? I mean, unless all your coworkers are using BlackBerries and it's just really convenient to use BlackBerry Messenger, which is still great and is still a draw for a lot of those people, I cannot recommend this phone. I just can't. I know there are a lot of diehard BlackBerry users out there who will probably pick this phone up and love it, and that's great. But in terms of, does it compete with other phones, and is it going to keep BlackBerry on top? Absolutely not. There's just no way. I think they sold a little over 150,000 phones in that weekend, which is a fantastic launch for BlackBerry. I mean, that's a great launch. I mean, I think that was around the same launch for the Android phones, and that just shows, how loyal BlackBerry users are. But you got to compare that to the iPhones, over 1 million for the iPhone 4. With those kind of sales, I mean, BlackBerry cannot hope to stay on top for longer. And it's just really a better experience. BlackBerry has had really relatively the same experience since they first established the smartphone as popular. And they have had plenty of time to evolve and upgrade and get new ideas. But this phone has none of those. It does not have any new ideas. It does the BlackBerry tricks. It does them better. It is kind of clunky. The OS is not very smooth because of that underpowered processor. The picture, it does no HD video, none of these big features. It's unfortunate because the more robust the marketplace, the better phones we're all going to get. So again, that's a quick 10-minute look at the BlackBerry Torch, available for $199 on AT&T.